It's fascinating to realize how we hardly ever question what's going on in our head. In previous videos, we have seen the extent to which we can get caught up in our thoughts and feelings, irrespective of what they happen to be like. Ordinarily, we unconsciously accept our mental process as being a fixed part of us, and even as reality itself. And so we all too easily get caught up in the drama of the thoughts and feelings we experience. But as we saw in our last video, Cognitive Diffusion, our thoughts and feelings are seldom the whole truth. They are instead fleeting mental events that are at least to some extent inaccurate and unreliable, if not entirely so. They are discrete biological occurrences that take place in our field of awareness. So is it then any wonder that our thoughts and emotions will be all over the place? This is where our training and applied mindfulness practice will come to our rescue. Together they teach us to be less fused with our thoughts, less caught up in their content, and they make us better able to remain calm, live in the present moment, and focus on the reality of the here and now. In short, they're the tools we use to cultivate emotional stability. As we have seen, in our formal practice, we time and again notice our thoughts and feelings without judgment. So we actively recognize a thought when it arises. We might register its content, we might discern its accuracy, we might note what, if any, hold it has on us, and then we simply let it go, once again returning the focus of our attention to the breath or sensations in the body, or to whatever else we might have chosen as the focus of our meditation. In this way, we repeatedly return to the present moment, on purpose and without judgment. And in doing so, we can access being mode of mind, also known as our soothing and affiliation system, which we looked at in the 3 modes of mind video. So in our training and practice, we actively cultivate a non-judgmental awareness of what's happening in the present moment. And at the same time, we employ an attitude of compassion, particularly of self-compassion. It's remarkable just how liberating this practice of seeing our thoughts as just thoughts can be. Over time, it promotes in us a sense of calmness and results in improved emotional stability. It also allows us to better know ourselves and be more accepting of who we actually are, rather than who others might like us to be. And in developing such mindfulness traits, our brain can become more stable. We're also liberated from the terrible tyranny of our thinking mind, which we looked at in the recent The Dictator Within video. For example, it may happen to us that we think we need to accomplish an overwhelming number of tasks in a given day. Should we then accept this thought to be the case and act as if it actually is, we will have created a reality in our mind in which we really do need to complete the many tasks in question. In such a situation, our practice can help us realize that thoughts are not necessarily facts. It enables us to be less fused with our mental process. So if while meditating, the notion of how much we have to do happens to come up, it's helpful to be aware that it's just a thought we are experiencing. It's not necessarily a fact. With this realization, we can avoid getting caught up in the drama of the thought. Without this realization, we might be so fused with the thought that we quite soon find ourselves busy with one or another of the tasks in question. And in all likelihood, we won't even be aware of having made a decision to stop meditating. When we cultivate the skill of stepping back and seeing our thoughts and feelings as the mental events that they are, we are better able to prioritize. We make more realistic choices about what does or doesn't need to be done. And we are even more likely to know when it's time to stop work for the day. So firstly, noticing our thoughts when they arise, and then recognizing that our thoughts are just thoughts, can free us from the warped reality they so often support. Cultivating these skills enables us to live a more emotionally stable, intentional, satisfying life. But it's worth pointing out that emotional stability can only really exist in the present moment. It therefore makes no sense for us to defer our practice until some future event has occurred. So if we want to wait until we've paid off a debt, have more time, or have acquired a qualification, a new job, a more spacious home, it's unlikely we'll ever get our practice together. There's always another one that will follow the present one. If we are after inner peace, we need to be at peace right now, in this moment. And our training and practice can be a handy blueprint to cultivating emotional stability and a peaceful mind. In the next couple of videos in this series, we'll be exploring some of the workings of our awesome brain, if only from a simple layman's point of view. In the meanwhile, expect life to be different.